Okay, Ankur, go ahead.
Hello, am I audible again? Yeah. First of all, this is an informative session where we talk about Android development, what exactly Android Study Jam is, how the program is structured, and I hope the part where I told you about the brief discussion about what we will discuss in today's session, that part was clear. And once again, sorry for the interruption. So, so first of all, I hope you all have registered and checked in through the GDSC event page because it is necessary for us so that we can track the participant and everything. So I'm sharing my screen now. I hope it's visible. Actually, I was having trouble in that. So okay. So hello everyone. We have talked about the Android Study Jam. So first of all, let me tell you what Android Study Jam is. So Android Study Jam are community organized study groups. So these are essentially groups where which enables people to learn how to build Android applications. And for the Study Jam, we are using Kotlin as our programming language. So Kotlin is also something that is now recommended by Google itself. And the official Android language is now Kotlin only. So in the Android Study Jam, we'll talk about Kotlin. And I guess it's Bhanu Prasad Pratap who's doing something in the screen. Can anyone please uh, disable the screen control from? Yeah, sure. So now talking about learning objectives. So in the Android Study Jam, we'll learn how we can build our Android apps. We'll see how we can set up Android Studio on our computer. We'll learn the basics of the Kotlin programming language. We'll discover resources to continue learning. And at the end, there is also one thing that I want you all to do right now is just to go to this link. I'll share it in the chat box also. So the link is this g.co slash Android study. Just a minute, I'm just typing g.co// Android slash study jam. So I want you all to go to this link, and just by going to this link, if you are signed in using the Google account, uh, you'll just uh, you'll just be able to get a badge which will exclusively be displayed in your Google developer profile. So I wish you all to go to this link and receive your unique Android Study Jam badge. So yeah, just go to this link, get your badge, and let me know in the chat box if when you're done so. Yeah. So Google is saying done. Yeah, everyone. You'll receive some amazing badges on your Google Developer profile, and afterwards we'll make the Google Developer profile public also. So then we can like share the badge with everyone else, and yeah. Okay. So since many of you have done that. Uh, I'm getting start course option. Yeah, yeah. After getting the badge, you'll see that start course option, and this is what we'll do right now. But yeah, just by going to that link, we only have to visit it. Yes, you only have to visit that. Right, right. So yeah, as we have talked about some prerequisites, so there are no major prerequisites for this session or the future sessions that we are planning. Can you please send the link once again? Yeah, sure. Just a minute, I'm just the link again. Yeah, I shared the link again. So now talking about some prerequisites. So for this session, you just need to have some basic computer literacy, like you just like the basic part of how to use a computer and everything. Just some basic math skills like normal algebra and some things that will just use a little bit in our Android course, Android future lectures. And you need to have a computer which and it is recommended that it should have at least minimum RAM. So 8 GB RAM should have 4 GB RAM so that you can run Android Studio smoothly, because we'll need to run Android Studio for the future sessions. So for that, we wish that you all have at least 4 GB RAM. We also require an internet connection. And if you have an Android device that you can directly connect with your and if you have an Android device that you can directly connect with your Android Studio, we'll look into how we can do that also in the future sessions. So it will be nice if you can connect it directly instead of using an emulator. And we'll also look into how you can that can also be done. So now I hope you all have also created your developer profiles. So if you haven't, just go to this link developers.google.com/profile and create a developer profile. So I'll just wait for a few minutes. I want you all to go to that link developers.google.com/profile and create an account. If you haven't done so, just do that. And I think many folks have already done that. Sir, I use MSI App Player Emulator. Yeah, great. That will also do. Yeah. So already created. Yeah, great. So now we can move further. So first of all, let me go to the browser. Let me myself go to the actually I have like laptop just now because the previous one was that's so yeah, I want you all to go to that website and create a profile. Since I'm assuming you already created the fill the form, what create a dice roller apps and some simpler apps such as like that. Sir will be using Android Studio. Yes, Ashriya, for uh, uh, voice is not clear. Hope my voice is clear. Can anyone confirm? Am I audible right now?
Yes, Ankur, you are audible.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So, do we have to? Yes, because for this course, in the beginner sessions, for the first session, I guess we'll just learn Kotlin. So for Kotlin, you don't need to install Android Studio just now, because we'll just look into the basics of Kotlin, and you can use anything such as there is CodeLab, there is there is the IntelliJ IDE itself. So you can use any of that. You can even use an online compiler of Kotlin, and that will work just fine. So for that, you don't even need 4 GB RAM. Just you can even to use an online compiler, you can even just do that with your phone itself. But yeah, for the further sessions, once we deep dive, we'll have some speaker sessions. We'll have some guest speakers, and for that sessions, we'll look into Android Studio. We'll do all the things by what do you mean? Yeah, so for that, we'll need Android Studio. Android Studio has its own inbuilt emulator. Yeah, for Android Studio, it has its own inbuilt emulator. So yeah, that we can, as I said, you can directly use your phone. You can connect your phone, or you can use the inbuilt emulator from Android Studio. You need to download it for the first time, and then it will work. Can we build Android apps in VS Code? So I think it will be a bit difficult if you use VS Code. Some folks do that also, but Android Studio is preferred in my case. If you use Flutter or cross-platform apps, then VS Code works very fine. But especially in case of Android development, when you're talking about native development, it is preferable if you use Android Studio. So yeah, for this course, we'll first of all look into the Android basics, and the first unit that will start with tomorrow with the next session, which will be on 5. We'll look into Kotlin basics for Android. There are some activity sessions and everything that I recommend you all can start right now. It's very simple. But yeah, before that, you all should install Android Studio also. So this is unit 1, and then we'll look into the pathways. So these are just as I said, this is just an informative session where I'm talking about what we'll do in the further sessions. So we'll look into an introduction to Kotlin. There are some quizzes also that you can check out in the Android developers website. And yeah, you'll learn badges. And yeah, about the program. So when you learn badges, there is a whole track. I'll share the link in just a few minutes. So you just go to that link, start creating apps, start with the tutorial. And yeah, beforehand you should also install Android Studio. So you install Android Studio, you go with the tutorial that I'll share in a while, and then just go for it. When you complete just one unit, you will earn a badge, and for each unit completion you'll get an exclusive badges for each of the modules. So every time you complete a module, you get some badges that will be displayed in your Google developer profile, that you can see that anyone can see by clicking on their profile. So yeah, so I'll dig deeper into that, all of it. Are we going to get a certificate for this? So there is a certification criteria. As I said, if you complete all the all the Kotlin units that I'll share, with whose link that I will share, if you complete all of that, then you are going to get a certificate from from Google, from Google Developer Club essentially. And yeah, you will get a certificate if you complete that. Emulator should work. Uh, yeah, okay. So now let's talk about Kotlin programming language. What exactly is Kotlin? So first of all, Kotlin is an open source statically typed programming language. So Kotlin is an open source language. It is statically typed, and it is developed by JetBrains. So essentially, the IntelliJ IDE, the Android Studio, and all of it is developed by JetBrains only. So that's why it is said that it is preferable if you use Kotlin with Android Studio, because both are developed by the same company. So it gives you an edge over VS Code. So just for developing using Kotlin or Java, it is recommended that you use Android Studio. And Kotlin is designed to interoperate with Java. So what actually happens is that under the hood, when you when you code in Kotlin, it will be converted into a Java syntax, essentially a syntax which is Java only. So Kotlin and Java is essentially totally convertible. So if you write a Java code in your Kotlin IDE, so even some IDE supports the feature that they directly convert the Java code into Kotlin code. So these features are totally interoperable, and you can just compile. You can just use a Java code and compile it you with Kotlin. So this is how Kotlin gives you an edge. And in 2017, after that, Google has announced Kotlin as an official language. So now all the things that are specifically targeted towards Android, they are developed in Kotlin. So also Kotlin, as I said, Kotlin is open source. So there is this GitHub link, JetBrains/Kotlin. So after going to this link, you can just directly see the whole source code behind which Kotlin is built. So that's the beauty of Kotlin. And essentially anything which is open source, you can just directly see the whole code behind Kotlin. So this is an amazing thing. And yeah, here is a nice comparison between Java and Kotlin. So as you can see, the Java code, it contains a lot of things. It contains a public class person, which contains name, age, which contains a constructor, which contains some setters, getters, and everything. But if you do the same using Kotlin, you won't require any of that. You just need to define a data class, and you just need to give them some parameters, and that's it. You don't need any getters, any setters, nothing. It's so simple, it's so easy in if you convert it in using Kotlin. Basically Kotlin is built to make your things easier. If you are a Java developer and you there will be lots of things that you consider will be difficult. So Kotlin essentially simplifies all of that. So here are some things about Kotlin. Now moving further, uh, sir, what is the duration of the course? So I'll take all the doubts in the ending, so don't worry about that. So talking so use Kotlin to start writing Android apps, as you already must have noticed by now, and it helps developer to be more productive. So if you are a Java developer, then it's essentially a high time you switch to Kotlin, because now even Google recommends Kotlin. And as you can see, Kotlin and Java are essentially interoperable. Everything is just connected with each other, and you can develop some amazing apps using Kotlin. So, so this is it. Now there is this Kotlin playground through which you can write and run your Kotlin codes directly in your browser. So this is something that we can look into for the further sessions. As for the next session, we'll use the code labs, where we will use the Kotlin syntax, and we can use them in an online compiler only. So, and you can also install the IntelliJ. So IntelliJ also has support for Kotlin, or you can just directly install Android Studio as well, as Android Studio is they are used for all the development in Java as well as Kotlin. So, so for that, as I've already said, Android Studio is the official tool which I use to build Android apps. So, and then there is Android Emulator. So once you install the Android Studio, you can also install Android emulator, which you can directly do through Android Studio itself. So using Android emulator, you can run your Android device on your phone. So you can run your app on the emulator itself. So it is also a nice feature that you can take upon. So you can also use Android emulator, or you can use the USB cable. Both are interoperable. Like you can use any of it. And then talking about user interface. So now later on, after the basic sessions on Kotlin and the language syntax, etc., we'll look into user interfaces, how you can design some beautiful UIs, how you can make your app more interactive, how you can attract more users in your app, and things like that. So later on, we'll also look into that for the next sessions. And now talking about layouts. So everything in Android is divided into XMLs. So, and XML contains layouts. So there are a lot of layouts that you can use, like relative layout, constant layout, etc. So for developing Android apps, you need to divide your apps into layouts essentially. So these layouts can be a text button, it can be an image, it can be a normal text, it can be a slider, it can be a carousel, it can be anything. So whole of the Android development is divided into layouts. So we'll look into that layouts, how you can design that layouts, how you can write beautiful XMLs for that. Um, we'll also look into that. So now later on, look into like text view, image view, button. As I said, everything is divided into layouts, and then after dividing them into layouts, you can use views to connect everything and build a beautiful UI. So but through getting started, as I said, to get started, you just need to go to this link g.co/android/basics, and you can just start the course right now. Like, it's not a time constant. You just need to complete the cert to get the certification. You need to complete this course by 5th of January, and we'll also cover some course basics itself in the further sessions. So I also paste the link in the chat section. G.co. I can't see your screen. I hope my screen is visible. Can we complete this? Yeah, sure. Like, you can complete it today itself. No worries in that. And yeah, for the further part, we'll have some speaker sessions. We'll have some great speakers who are working as an Android developer in companies, and we are inviting all of them in the further sessions. So after this session, you can just download the tutorial for this session, and afterwards you can just follow along with the future sessions. Till then, can we complete this gem? So the maximum limit is 10th of January, and it will be recommended if you complete this before the start of January only, so that it will be easier for us also to track your uh, skills and everything. And also, like, if you wish, you can also develop some apps. You can share your apps with us, and from the college, we will select one app that will be that we can go share with the Google developers. And if they like the app, they will also share the app in their features for and everything. So you can also get a chance to be featured in the Google India Twitter and something like that. So for certification, will there be an exam? So for certification, yeah, actually Google has a certification. So if you want, you can complete that certification. There is a fee if you want to go complete that certification, but it's not necessary you complete the certification. The course that I have mentioned, they mentioned this G.co one. It is not a paid code. It is free for everyone. You can just go to the link and you can start the course right now. Will you provide certification voucher? So I cannot provide the certification voucher now, but if you complete all of the tracks and you complete this course, then maybe we can actually ask for a reimbursement. So minimum time to complete the course according to you, sir. What is the price for the certification exam? So for the certification exam, I think it is a costly exam, I must say. It needs, I think, about 150 US dollars, but it is not necessary you complete that. It was written that we will be getting, yes, actually you will get 80% reimbursement only for that exam. So Google can provide that. And apart from that, um, you just complete the course, and you will if when you complete the course, you will just share with us in a form that we'll share. And after you complete that, we'll just share with you a certificate at the end. These lectures are from YouTube, right? No, I think it does not contain video lectures. It contains hands-on lab and code labs. So it doesn't contain. And some people are saying link is not working. Let me have a look at that. Mm. G.co is Android Flash Basics. Yeah, let me look at it. If it doesn't work, the link is working in my case. I can see it. Let me share with you this link. If it becomes, is there a chance of getting job in Google? Well, no. To be honest with you, no. But yeah, through that course, it will be a basic milestone for you, and you can like build upon that milestone, and you can get a job with Google. It won't be an issue. Sir, but here are some lectures like Introduction to Kotlin. Yeah, so we'll begin with that. So as you can see on my screen also, there is the unit is Kotlin basics. So for the first video, so for the first session, after this one, we'll start with Kotlin, and then we'll also look into layouts. And like as I said, told you, these are some earnable badges that you can check out, like Introduction to Kotlin. Then you'll begin with first app in Android Studio. Then we'll look into how to build a basic layout, and we'll also create a dice roller app, as I've already told you. And yeah, we'll dig deeper. We'll also, just a minute. And we'll also look into navigations, how to connect to the internet. We'll use coroutines and things like that. And that is all that we will discuss into the future sessions. So get user inputs in apps. Yeah, sure. So yeah, that is all that we will discuss in the future sessions. And yeah, so after you completed the sessions, you can also share what you learned with hashtag Android Study Gems. And if the Google likes your tweet or something like that, they will definitely retweet it also. And yeah, you can get featured. You can continue learning, keep coming back, and we will have our first session on 5th of December. And as I told you, you can just start learning right now. And before the start of session on 5th of December, it is very much recommended that you install Android Studio in your PC, so that it will be beneficial for us also, so that we can follow along the session as well. And yeah, that's it. We'll start the session with 5th of December. And here are also some additional resources that you can check out. So I'll share with you all the resources after the session. So no need to worry about that. These are some resources that are recommended by the Google team itself. So I hope they will be beneficial for you all. So yeah, I think that's it for this session. We are just talking about the info about the further sessions in this one, and what exactly Android Study Jam is. And now and also one thing that I think I can also tell you in this session is that we can also discuss about some features about native and cross-platform development. So for the Android Study Jam sessions, we are using Kotlin as our language. So Kotlin is essentially a native language. So through Kotlin, we can only develop apps in Android, right? For Android. But there are also some languages through which you can develop for cross-platform. Like you can develop for Android as well as iOS in just one step. So there are some languages, some frameworks like Flutter. There is React Native, and there is Xamarin and frame things like that. So through that, you can also develop cross-platform applications. Now, going to the native part, we have Kotlin, about which I told you right now. And yeah, I use Flutter. Yeah, actually, I'm also a Flutter developer, and I also use Kotlin along with. So yeah, so for native, we have Kotlin, we have Java, we have, are there mostly video tutorials or textual tutorials? Actually, the course which I have shared, as far as I know, it contains more of a textual tutorials. But for the video tutorial, you can go to the official YouTube channel of Android developers. It contains some tutorial that you can use. Can complete this course on mobile. I think it will be difficult, uh, more than difficult, because you will need Android Studio, as I said. to actually build apps, you can like check the language syntax, and if you want to go along with Kotlin, you can like learn the Kotlin basics in phone. You can do that much, but if you develop, it will be difficult on mobile. And can we use C language? So I think so. Like I have already said, for this session, for this and the next sessions, we'll be using Kotlin as our language. And app development is actually not that popular in C languages. Let's see why a Flutter developer is into Kotlin. I want a solid reason. Yeah. Yeah, actually, I started with Kotlin and then I started learning Flutter. So, yeah, any other doubts, just let me know. And about the next session, we'll have our next sessions on 5th of December, where we'll look into the Kotlin basics. We'll really go into the coding part. Right now, I just told you in a brief about what we'll do. So period of course, we'll have the first session on 5th of December, and then we'll have sessions on the next week, and we'll go on in a weekly basics, or we'll just let you know it isn't finalized yet. So okay, yeah. Any other doubts? Do they just teach the theory or they make you create a hands-on project? Well, actually, they make you create a hands-on project because if you go to the website, they have a proper code labs where you can directly code your solutions also, and it is pretty much practical only. Can you share PPT of instructions? Yeah, I'll share this PPT also. Will knowledge of Python help in this course? Well, actually, if you know any language, right? If you are familiar with C++, Python or anything, then if you want to switch to Kotlin, it won't be a big issue because you're already familiar with the basic programming concepts such as for loops and things like that. So the if-else statements and some basic things which are essential in all the languages. So if once you're familiar with them, then it won't be an issue to switch to a different language. So yeah, that will be helpful. Sir, I know Java is any issue. Yeah, Java is also nice. Like as I told you, Java and Kotlin are essentially interoperable. So I have actually tested it. Once you if you copy a code of Java and you paste it in your .kt file, especially in Android Studio, what happens is that it automatically converts your code into Kotlin. So it's even a inbuilt feature of Android Studio. So look how easy it is to convert Java and Kotlin into each other. So just about I'll discuss about it later on. So I can't comment in right now. But yeah, are you going to take sessions according to the units or are your sessions different? So actually, I won't take a lot of all the sessions. We are collaborating with some other Google Developer student clubs as well, and we'll take sessions collaboratively. And in the first session, as I told, we'll talk into Kotlin basics, and then later on we'll dig deeper. We'll start with unit 1 of the course that Google has provided, and we'll look into how much further we can go on. Sir, they will teach Kotlin language from, yes, what the sessions that we will have further on also, they will be very much beginner friendly. Even if you're not at all familiar with programming, you will learn everything in that sessions. So it won't be an issue. What is the use of these Google badges? Well, you have this Google developer profile that you can make public and that you can share with everyone. So you can like directly if you go for an internship, go for a job, you can share that Google developer profile everywhere, and they will know how many badges you have got, how many things you have learned and everything. So yeah, it was a great session. Thank you, Omkar. And especially really sorry for the delay in the session. Actually, my laptop got crashed and I need to restart it and everything. So that's why. Is Google Developer is same as LinkedIn? Well, actually, it's not same because in LinkedIn you can make post, you can interact with each other, and Google Developer is just kind of resume, you can say, where you can track everything that you have done. They can track all the courses that you have done and everything. So recording based though, please. Yeah, we'll share the recording after the session. We'll upload it on YouTube and let you know. Can you show previous slide? What is in? Is it? Yeah, this slide. Sir, what are your laptop specs? The laptop I'm currently using is a different one, and the one that got crashed. Actually, it got crashed because I have a virtual machine opened up simultaneously. That's why. It has a 8 GB RAM and things like that. Will increase our chance for getting a job. Well, I can't exactly say that it will increase the chance, but if you want to go into Android development, you will learn some things, you will implement these things in other things, and you will grow with it. So it will be beneficial. Then we should start towards Flutter. Well, right now we have this for Kotlin only, but I think the Google Developer Student Club has a exclusive month for the Flutter developers also. So we'll cover that also. Will this help in GSOC? Well, yes, because when you learn the Android Studio basics, there are various GSOC organizations also in which you can contribute through Kotlin. Even I think Kotlin itself is a open source language, so they have a. I'm not sure whether they participate under GSOC or not. I'm pretty sure that Dart language participates in. Yeah, it will definitely help you. Thank you, sir, for clearing all our doubts. Yeah, sir. And if you have any other doubts, just ask them out. Looking forward to Flutter things. How much is course period? So as I said, you can just go to this link now, start the sessions, and you can start the course, you can start your learning. And if you want a certificate from the GDSCs, you need to complete this before 10th of January. If I say from my side, it is recommended you do so before the start of January only, because at the end we need to share all the data with the Google administration. So it will be good if you complete that beforehand only. Sir, can we leave? Yeah, I think the session is over. This is just an informative session, and furthermore, we start with the Kotlin basics and we'll dig deeper.